Hey guys, what's up, Predictions here, and welcome back to this brand new video. If I sound a bit off, that's correct because I'm still recovering from this cold and it has pretty much nuked my voice. But that's okay. The main point of this video is that I would love to thank you all for 5,000 subscribers. When I started this channel back in, what was it, September of 2020 or October of 2020, I would have never expected to reach this goal ever. So thank you so much. I owe you guys a lot. And before we get into the questions, guys, if you haven't noticed, my second channel, which is on the screen right now and in the description down below, well, it has blown up completely and it managed to get more views in the last 2 days than my main channel got in the last 2 months. So yeah, that's nice. The algorithm is really pushing my second channel and completely ditching my first channel, so yay. Anyways guys, on Monday I asked you to leave some questions for me for this special Q&A video, and I will of course be answering them in this video. And oh yeah, one last thing before I start with the questions. I will be doing a giveaway, for which if you want to participate in that, I will explain it all at the end of the video. So if you would like a chance to win the prize I will be giving away, please stay until the end. I will explain everything there. So let's get into the first question. So you guys asked me questions on 2 platforms. One is in a YouTube community post and the other one was in my Discord. And I'll just be cycling through all of them one by one. I will start off with the YouTube one. I'll just slowly go through them one by one, and then after I've done all the YouTube ones, I will of course end up with the Discord questions. And oh yeah, by the way, if you don't see your question in this video, that is probably because someone else asked a very similar question. So I kind of put your question together with the other ones. So please don't be angry at me if I didn't show your question. I just showed the question that was most similar to your question. So I kind of answer your question as well. So let's start this thing. So the first question from AMD RYZEN on YouTube. I started making AC hot lap videos after seeing your videos. So it is like you are my inspiration, lol. So how do you feel about others being inspired by you? Well, to be honest, I don't really know how to feel about that, because I of course also wasn't the first one to start making this. I really don't know who started making this. Probably, well, of course people have made hot lap videos on different sims and games. Well, if you adopt my style, then, well, I'm kind of honored that people like my style so much that I want to use it in their own videos. So the next question by Flying Finn. What is your favorite sim? Maybe too obvious. Yeah, you think? And your favorite AC car mod? Congrats and keep it up. Well, first of all, thank you. And my favorite AC car mod? Well, that's actually quite a difficult one. Recently, I've really started to enjoy the Formula 79 V8 by RSS, which is based on the Lotus 79. Anyway, that thing is just an absolute blast to drive, and if you get a classic track like 70s Austria or Zandvoort 1973, it's just a lot of fun to drive that thing. Then next question. That car guy asks, what made you want to start your own YouTube channel? It's actually quite a, well, not a sad story, but I kind of started out of desperation because I didn't know what to do. I started it back in September of last year, I believe. Before I decided, okay, I'm going to do this, I actually already made one Assetto Corsa video, which was hot lap at Spa-Francorchamps with I believe it was Max Verstappen's Red Bull. I'll link it up there in the information icon. And well, that video I just made for fun, but then about a month later I dropped out of university, and I was really going through some tough times mentally. And I didn't really have anything to do, and I felt like I had no purpose. So at that time I already had 500 subscribers for my karting videos, which I just uploaded casually before that. Because this channel actually has existed since 2013, which is probably not something all of you know. And in that time I got about 500 subscribers. And then I was just like, well, if I don't have an education, I might just as well do something useful and maybe try to make money from YouTube. So I started making YouTube videos, and I actually really enjoyed it because I enjoyed making videos for a long time. But I always just did it as a hobby, and I was like, well, if I'm going to do something useful with my life, why not do something I enjoy? So that's basically the story of how I started with my YouTube channel in the current form it has now. So next question from Chris 2003. Are you really excited to see George Russell in the Mercedes seat in 2022? Yes, I am. I just hope that Mercedes is able to carry its front-running form till the next season. Not like the dominant form we saw in 2014 and all the years in between. But yeah, that there'll still be front runners, and maybe that another team like Ferrari gets back to the front so that we can have a nice three-way battle for the title. Okay, so Dresius asks, what workouts do you do when you were karting? Well, that's actually quite an interesting story. I started in karting back in 2008. No, not 2008, 2010, excuse me. That was just casual and for fun, and then in 2012 we actually took lessons at the indoor kart track there, and you always had to take like a final exam, which consisted of just like a test on paper, and a practical exam, which was I believe it was a 1-hour endurance race. And when I was running in my half-an-hour stint, I just completely, well, I just had a bad stamina, let's just put it like that. And I got completely killed by it. And at that point I realized, like, okay, karting is a physical sport. And then a couple of years later, when I was already running in my like privately owned karts, I was pretty fat, and that also had to do with my home situation at the time and my mental state. So I had to lose a little bit of weight, so I mainly did cardio and body weight exercises. I literally just used 2 YouTube videos that I found that used body weight to get a bit more muscly. And I did this all the way back when I was 13, so I wasn't really allowed to use weights. My parents didn't really like that idea, so I just used body weight exercises really. And when I got older, I didn't really have to work out to be able to do karting. The karting itself was enough to maintain my stamina and to maintain my muscles. So, Maitre Memes asks, what is your favorite car brand? Well, at the moment it's Lamborghini and Audi, because I just really like the Audi R8 and of course the Lamborghini Huracan, which is basically the same car with a different skin. And the Lamborghini Aventador will just be one of my all-time favorite cars. Zanti YouTube asked me, favorite open world mod besides SRP? Well, this is of course referring to Assetto Corsa, and SRP is Shituko Revival Project, which is basically the highway surrounding Tokyo. Which is a brilliant mod, by the way, you guys should check it out. Well, my favorite mod besides SRP, I like how you just assume that SRP is my favorite open world mod, which it is, but I like that you assume that. But besides that, I really like LAC, which is LA Canyon, I believe it's called. Well, it's just basically a really nice road in the US, and whenever I go test out a hypercar, I usually pick LAC. So, Miguel Rivas Morales asked me, how is your sim racing setup? Well, it consists of my PC, which specs are always down in the description below, a Logitech G29, my TV, which is behind my pedals, which is stood on a little wooden table on top of an empty sound case on top of a wooden plank. So yeah, I really have a shabby setup. I do have a play seat though, but it was like the cheapest one my dad could find when he got it for me when I turned 14. So yeah, it's really nothing to write home about, but it does the job. So, Carl Accord asked me, what football team do you support? By the way guys, sorry if I butchered your names. Some of your names are in languages I do not speak, so I try to do my best to pronounce your guys' names. But yeah, here's the thing, I know jack shit about football. So I'm just going to say I support the team of my city that I live in, and that is NAC Breda. Hup NAC.
Ik spring van NAC, jij springt van NAC. Wij springen allemaal van NAC. Ik spring van NAC.
Then 02 and then something I can't read. Patch asked me, what F1 team do you like? Well, currently I support Red Bull Racing, but that's of course because Max Verstappen drives for them. I'm not really a huge Max Verstappen fan, even though I'm Dutch. Really the only reason I support him is because he is from the Netherlands. But yeah, I also quite like the underdog attitude of Red Bull Racing. Of course, they're kind of ending Mercedes' dominance, what they already did. Mercedes isn't the dominant force it was. And yeah, I always quite like that. The person who challenges the current authority or the status quo. Help me, asks me, when do you poop? Well, whenever the fuck I need to. When do you poop? Sailor Uranus asked me, do you have a car? And do you ride on the unlimited autobahn? Well, let's start with the first part of the question. Even though I am 18, I don't have a driver's license. And well, that mainly has 2 reasons. The first one is that I planned on starting with my driver's license once I finished Dutch high school, which ends when you're about 18. It ended when I was still 17 in my case. Well, the final year of Dutch high school always ends at around March, April of that school year. And my final school year was 2020. And I think you guys all know what happened in March of 2020. Of course, Daddy Ronavirus broke out. And it basically turned my whole year upside down. And I only started taking driving lessons then in October of 2020. Then lockdown happened, so I had half of a year of a delay. And getting your driver's license in the Netherlands is way too complicated, it takes way too much time and is way too expensive. So yeah, it normally already takes around half a year to get your driver's license, but then with a half a year delay, well, it basically meant I only had my exam last week for my driving. And I was ill, so I pretty much failed it because of that. So I don't have a driver's license yet. And do you ride on the unlimited autobahn? Well, in the Netherlands we do not have that. Maybe you think I'm from Germany, which is understandable. My accent is kind of German as well. But yeah, we don't have unlimited autobahns in the Netherlands. The closest one is like 2 hours away from here. So in order to drive there, I would have to drive for 2 hours first, which is not really worth it in my opinion. So, the next question from MO Designs. Is Assetto Corsa greater than F1 2021? For me, Assetto Corsa is better than F1 2021. Well, speaking about that, this exact question is the reason my second channel is blowing up in the last couple of days. If you guys haven't seen why, go check it out, it's really funny. But yeah, it kind of depends what you're after, man. If you want an arcade experience, just want a fun game, go get F1 2021. If you want the focus mainly on the driving and the authenticity part of the driving, go get Assetto Corsa. I am actually planning on doing a very in-depth video on this. It will probably offend some F1 2021 fanboys, but hey, that's just part of what I do. They'll just have to deal with it. So that concludes all the questions from YouTube. I will now be switching to the Discord questions. If you would like to talk to me on a more personal level and just have a bit of fun with me and about 170 other subscribers, go join the Discord, the link is in the description and it's free of course, so please join it. Okay, so on to the Discord questions. Aqua Gaming NL asks me, what is your opinion on red beans? Well, they're just f***ing good, aren't they? Next question. AERO Racing asks me, what is your favorite sport apart from motorsports? Well, excellent question. I really have a shabby relationship with sports throughout my entire childhood. I basically sucked at everything else that wasn't motorsport, which is why I ended up going for motorsport in the first place. And this is also the case with most drivers. They really suck at anything else, that's why they're driving. So I don't really have a favorite sports apart from racing. Well, I would love to try shooting once, like with guns. I really like that. And I would love to try it once, if I get the opportunity. Smooth Operator asks me, if you had to pick any F1 team to drive for from the past or present, what would it be and why? Cheers. Well, dude, thank you very much for the cheers. I would have loved to drive for Williams in the early 90s, with their very advanced cars, with the suspension and stuff. Yeah, that would just be very cool in my opinion, to have such a technically advanced machine. R8G Car Racer asks me, any thoughts about esports? Well, I assume you're referring to the F1 esports. Well, of course, the drivers themselves are massively talented. I don't really have anything against them. They're really cool dudes. They're as talented as real drivers in my opinion. They really mastered the Codemasters physics system. But on the organization itself, I'm kind of torn. I think it's really bad that they chose an arcade game for professional drivers. Well, I don't really think they have a choice though, because it's of course licensed by F1 and it's all one big commercial business. So yeah, that's my opinion on them. Definitely not a Hamilton fan asks me, if you're an F1 driver, who would you choose to be your teammate? Well, I would definitely go for Valtteri Bottas. He has just been proven to be the perfect number 2 driver. He can make sure that a team gets the most out of their 2 drivers. He can help the number 1 driver and score some solid points while helping the number 1 driver. So yeah, Valtteri Bottas is definitely my pick for my teammate. If you got to change one thing about Formula 1, what would it be and why? Well, I would definitely change the engines. And this is because sound is a very important part to me about Formula 1, and I think a good sound is very important for the fans as well and would just benefit the sport in general. Somi asks me, if you can add one track back to the calendar, what would it be? Well, I would love to see India make a return. I just think that track is an absolutely amazing track to drive and race on. If you don't know the track, I will leave a link to it in the information icon in the top right corner, or if that's already taken, I will put it in the description down below, so be sure to check it out. Elex asks me, which team would you like to see return to F1? Excellent question again. I don't really know that many teams from the past, but I think it would be really cool to see something like Jordan or Honda make a return. Just another, independent team making a return to Formula 1. I think that would benefit the sport. T-Bug asks me, if you train for racing in karts, how hard is it? Well, for me, it's not that hard anymore. It's just routine. I'll very briefly take you through testing the in-karting. Well, it actually starts on the week before, where you work on your kart, do some tinkering, make sure it's up and running again for the next session. Then 1 or 2 days before you actually leave for the track, you of course load your van with all the stuff you need, the kart itself, all the tools and all the spare parts and stuff. Then on the day you go testing, you wake up at 7 o'clock, go to the track of course so that you're there early, take out your kart, get it ready to run, do a banker run, and then just improve on the day. Get quicker, get more comfortable with the setup, try to find the correct setup, and of course try to get quicker, and if you're there and you're lucky, there's also some other drivers from your category, so you can kind of use them as a benchmark to see where you are. So yeah, for me it's not really that hard, it's just routine for me really. Fu asks me, what is your favorite non-F1 car in AC? Excellent question. 90% of the time I do AC, I am running in F1 cars, but when I'm not, I'm usually running in DTM. I believe they're called United Racing Design, the modding team that made the car. Yes, they are, I just looked it up. Their DTM cars are just really good. I'll leave a link to it in the description, you guys should really check it out. It's really worth the €5 price tag. Okay, so this last question is actually one I got quite a lot, and I have saved it for last on purpose. I actually got it on YouTube, so it should have been featured in the previous section. But hey, I saved it for last on purpose, so let's go. How did you come up with the name Redactions? Well, that's an excellent question. I came up with it when I created this channel back in 2013. And I think you guys will be quite thrilled to know what it means. So, well, it means... Yeah, it means nothing. I do remember how I came up with it though. Back in the day I used to watch a lot of the Yogscast, which is a channel you might know. They do a lot of Minecraft. And back then Lewis's channel was called, I don't know what it was called, but it was Blue something. And I just basically copied his idea of selecting a color and then putting a nonsense word behind it. Well, red just means red as in the color, and actions means nothing. I don't know. I thought it sounded nice, and well, it's something I think right now it's something that most people from all over the world can pronounce, so that's nice really. If I would have used my real name, which is on the screen right now, I don't think people that have English as their first language, or basically any other language than Dutch, can pronounce this very easily. So yeah, that's why I also just stuck with Redactions. Maybe I'll change it in the future when I get really big, but yeah, Redactions will do for now, I guess. Okay guys, so that concludes the questions. A massive thank you to everyone who sent in his questions. I'm sorry if your question didn't make it to the video, but well, I explained in the beginning, that's because a very similar question came before your question. So I just picked the first one that was very similar to your question. Anyway, if you've stayed here for the giveaway, well, I'm going to tell you how it works right now. I'm going to be giving away 1 copy of Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition, 1 copy of Formula Hybrid 2021, which is the best F1 2021 mod you can have for Assetto Corsa, and I will be also giving away 1 copy of Content Manager, the full version, which is a program that we use to basically turn Assetto Corsa into God tier. And it's all in 1 pack, so if you win it, you win all those 3 things at once. So yeah, you can't win Content Manager separately or the mod separately or Assetto Corsa separately. If you win all 3 things at once. So, if you want to enter this giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel, leave a comment and like this video. If you do leave your comment, please do state in your comment that you want to enter this giveaway. And also, if you are already subscribed and unsubscribe and then resubscribe, that doesn't work. I can see if you do that. So if you are new to this channel and subscribe, decide to subscribe, leave a comment and like, then you have entered. That doesn't just count for this video, but it will also count for future videos, like within the next week. So yeah, if you want to have a chance to win Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition, F1 2021 for Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition and Content Manager, you know what to do. Anyway, that has been it for this video. Once again, I would like to thank all of you for 5,000 subscribers. It is something I really did not expect when I started this channel. And yeah, I owe you guys so much. You guys also play a huge part in my current mental health, and the reason I'm doing so well is also partly down to you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Did I say thank you? I think I did. Anyway, that has been it for this Q&A video, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.